everyone, I'm Eszter Kovács, co-founder of Drone Talks, and I'm here in Geneva at the Airspace Conference, Airspace World Conference 2024, second day. So today I also interview a few interesting ATM, UTM, digitalization related experts. So stay tuned and follow Drone Talks channel. This is what I learned I need to say. So hi everyone, I'm here at the second day of Airspace World 2024 in Geneva. I'm Eszter Kovács, co-founder of Drone Talks, and I'm really lucky because I can start my morning, with the two most important people in the Spain uncrewed ecosystem, in my view, So first, Marina, thanks for accepting my invitation. Who are you if someone doesn't know you?
Thank you, Esther, for this quick interview. So this is Marina Estal. I'm the head of the Airspace Policy Area in the DGAC, the Spanish CAA, and I'm in charge, among other things, for the US-based implementation in Spain.
Fantastic. And Daniel, if you can also introduce yourself, please.
Yes, I'm Daniel Garcia-Monteavaro, Head of Drone Business Development Department in ENAIRE. Thank you very much for your kind introduction. And I'm in charge of the US-based definition, implementation in the role of the ANSP ENAIRE.
So, I love seeing you two together because I think, I assume, but I'm not a part of the Spanish ecosystem, it should be a love and hate relationship when you try to develop regulation. It's super, difficult. So where are you now during the last couple of years? How could you succeed with this new regulation in Europe?
Yeah, well, first of all, for the implementation of the regulation, we developed, as you know, an implementation plan for the whole Spain. And now we are trying to comply with this implementation plan. And the most important thing we achieved recently is to define the coordination mechanism for the designation of the US-based airspaces. So we are at that stage, and we think we achieved something very difficult to achieve. Yes. Because it implies like local coordination with local authorities, the government, and it is always difficult. So we are very happy with that. Yeah.
Daniel, what's your view on that?
Well, we are participating very closely with DSC, with AESA, with other stakeholders and ministries in all related to the deployment of US-based volumes, also with the coordination mechanism, etc. We are using the ULCOM project, that is a 3-year project, and in that very project the idea is to deploy 8 different locations with US-based. The more advanced is Benidorm City, that is non-controlled airspace, and after that we have Coruña, that is a controlled airspace. So we have both cases, and it's one of our steps. On the other side, we have also participated in all the process of certification. With AESA, we have 16 different working groups in order to apply for the certification this June and to start the formal process of certification. And at the same time, inside ENAIRE, the air traffic control part, we are implementing, designing all the safety assessment for the implementation of dynamic airspace reconfiguration. So we are in the different front lines in parallel in order to have US-based to be a reality in the following year, if that is one of our objectives.
So like most of the watchers and our followers are the drone companies, AM companies, So I'm sure they want to understand that we are now working on a background, all of this. But when they can start to use those airspaces, just some forecast, we don't need to say like a day and a month, right?
Good question. We are preparing, as you said, the background, to set in the ground to designate these US-based airspaces like Danny said, for example in Spain is going to be the first one, maybe Benidorm in the south of Spain and then in the north with A Coruña. But the timeline is more like 2025. We are now starting the certification process, and then we are starting like the requesting process of the US-based airspaces. and we think maybe in a year and a half, we can achieve to have this the first designation of the U.S.-based airspace. I think this is the timeline, but I don't know that if Danny thinks otherwise.
Daniel, what's your timeline if it's not the same, you know?
Yes, well, our objective is to be certified and to start service in March 2025, or if not March, during 2025, and in parallel to have published, because it's needed, the US-based volumes, and to start with initial services. We foresee that they will be basic services, easy operation, because the ground risk operation, you know, in urban city, it's quite complex, but we have to start with something.
Yeah.
And the community has to learn that they have to start to use some digital services that they are not using now, and the responsibility that is behind. So I think it's a starting process in order to prepare the floor for more complex operation, like the advanced air mobility, eVTOLs, etc. So we are on the way.
For example, in Spain, we publish a portal in the web of the Ministry of Transport where we put all the information about US-based and what we are doing. We are launching surveys and everything, so the sector knows where are we, and also what they have to do for be prepared for this US-based system.
So I hear communication is key, and slowly but surely, you know, that is one of the takeaway. And I think this is a very, very strong point, because we as an industry, we want everything straight away, right? We want to make money, we want to fly, we want everything, but you know, this is like a slower process than we all foreseed 10 years ago. Because I remember 10 years ago, we were like, oh, drones gonna be flying in 10 years, and you know, we're still not there. And my last question maybe, you know, when we had Ariel Cities, we had the Catalonian police there, and he was amazing, and he said today in Catalonia there is no police operation without a drone, you know. So it seems like in at least Catalonia, I'm not sure about Spain, you know, it's really a reality for the user. So it's something which is there already today. Do you agree with that?
Yes, of course. I think not only for Catalonia, but we know that, for example, in Benidorm, they are using a lot of drones, and that is why we are pushing forward or pushing hard to be prepared, because the sector needs it. The operators need this. Yeah.
Daniel, anything on that?
Yes, in ULCOM project, in the different locations, there are many cases that are related to security forces. That is one, for instance, a use case very demanding, the security, the emergency, and I think they will be the pushers in the beginning of this
first
kind
users,
of operation.
Yes. First users they are. Fantastic, thank you so much. Lovely to see you at the show. Thank you so much.
To you.
Thank you.
I'm Eszter Kovács, and I'm here at the Airspace World second day in Geneva, where I have luck to catch Thorsten from HHLA Sky to discuss what's going on at the Hamburg port drone startup side. So please, Thorsten, if someone doesn't know, what is the integrated control center, what you developed, and what solution you offer, just in a nutshell?
Yeah, in a nutshell, the Integrated Control Center is really a platform. It's a process management platform to allow drone operations in critical infrastructures, for example, larger facilities or at scale, to enable that to do BVLOS operations at scale. And so when you do BVLOS, it's obviously that's where things get unlocked. If you have a one-to-one paradigm, it's very much of a limited solution. If you have one remote control, one drone, it's not going to get you very far. If you want to use it in an industrial way, you will need different tools. And that was also our background. Our mother company is a container shipping business. They run container terminals at the port of Hamburg for over 130 years. So they have a big background in how to run really tight operations. They've been also very innovative. And when they realized that drones are going to play an important role, they started to look in the way that they manage ships, and where they have centralized control centers and have remote operations, and that's how our control center has started as well.
So the control center can operate or gain data from ground operations and air operations as well. So that's the unique value in it, if I understood well.
Yeah, it started out as a drone operation center, and that is really what it primarily is now too. However, it's not limited to that, because it's on the one hand a process management platform to make sure that people do the right thing, they do it compliant, they do it in a repeated fashion, so you get a very consistent result out of it. But beyond that, we can also, we're agnostic to the vehicle in essence.
Oh,
so
okay.
we can hook up to different vehicles. Even also that can be ground vehicles, could even be swimming vehicles for that matter. And we communicate them through safe channels, primarily using the mobile phone network, which allows an existing infrastructure for a very reliable communication, a secure communication link. And yeah, you can manage
So
operations.
secure, I think, is the key, because industrial users are usually looking for data, privacy, security, and protect whatever data they collected, you know. So you are certified on security. I know because I talked before with Matthias, so that was one of the industrial usage focus.
Exactly. Security is very important to our clients and also to us, because it ensures safety so that nobody can interfere with the operation and mess things up different than planned. But also the data needs to be secured, and therefore all our solutions, whether that's the drone operating system, whether that's our integrated control center or our UTM platform for USSPs, has been built up with cybersecurity from the ground up in mind. Because if you don't do that, you open up the gates to manipulation, and we wanted to avoid that. And we didn't just build it that way to those standards, but we even had a third party certified by TÜV Nord, who we used a safety standard that's also in use with very other critical infrastructure transportation systems. That's IEC 62443, and the TÜV Nord has certified to us that the entire system with a particular drone and our ICC is compliant with that standard, therefore cyber secure, which to our knowledge is a world's first.
Fantastic. And you know, we just read on the internet a few weeks ago, you are a partner of one of the first German drone airline.
Yes.
So what's that story about, if you can share with us, because it was everywhere on the internet.
Yeah, that's really made quite a media stir. And what the Schulte does is they have a need to distribute tools and spare parts, and as such they have a need to reach their clients. And so far much of this has been done through courier, but they've had a big construction happening in the area because a bridge had to be demolished. That created a lot of traffic jams, and so to bridge that and to easier reach their clients, they've started to implement drones for some good time. We've been developing with them some of their needs, adapted some of our platform to these delivery needs, and so now in partnership with a very reliable drone and in the ConOps and the whole operation where RCC is an integral part, they've even gotten a Sale 3
from the local civil aviation authority, which is very impressive, I think. Like, this Sale 3, when you see it somewhere, you are like already, like, wow, it happened.
Yeah.
So it's good for the industry, movement already went that direction.
Yes, we're very happy that, and I think this will just be the start of other things. We've since then had other inquiries too about deliveries, and different stuff happens in different countries, different jurisdictions, and Germany being very densely populated with a lot of people and movement and infrastructure movement. It doesn't make it easy, but it's possible.
So the top three, as a closure, the top three kind of focus for HHLA Sky solution with an ICC is like delivery, if I understood well, industrial use, and what would you call the
and security, like
security
perimeter security. Yes, and because when you think of larger facilities, they have certain demands to make sure that their operations are not interrupted. So security is also a very important factor. And then when you look at the integrated control center, we basically provide tools to enhance automation there as well. We can bring in the video feed, we can send through our link, we can send up to 2 video feeds into the control center, so therefore the operator has a good situational awareness of what's going on, and even the where the drone is to deploy to, that can be triggered by other external systems such as intelligent fence or something like that.
So it's dynamically can be also
the route planning.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Thorsten, for this great discussion. So definitely worth to come to the Airspace World Congress, and I hope you liked the second day interviews, and follow our channel, drop a comment, and let us know who should we interview next time at the show.